But let's hear about it right now.
Shola Adeshake is a seasoned finance coach and chartered accountant with a wealth of experience spanning over 2 decades. Her unwavering passion for empowering individuals and businesses to comprehend the intricacies of make, manage, multiply money has seen her establish Smart Stewards Financial Advisory Limited and Smart Stewards Advisory LLC in the United States of America. Through these ventures and other platforms, Shola has transformed the financial lives of numerous people across 40 countries, helping them transition from financial stress to rest, from debt to wealth. She is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of the United Kingdom, ACCA, and a member of the Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada, CPA. Shola Adeshake is also a certified financial education instructor of the United States. She is a Tony Edumelu Foundation mentor. Shola is a well-known author who has written 8 books. Shola Adeshake will be speaking on building and sustaining wealth.
To register, visit bit.ly/TMM conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. That clap was very somehow. Like, give me more encouragement. You are not clapping for me. You are doing cheers to your next level. Like, imagine yourself in 2 years. The kind of money you'd be commanding. And the kind of wealth you'll be commanding. The people that you'll be rolling with. Your language and terminology. The countries you would have visited. The private jets you would have entered. The impact work you would be doing. The number of nations you will be lending to. So, clap better. Clap better. Do it better. Thank you. Please be majestically seated. I'm glad to be here. Well done, and thank you to the organizers. I love to talk about money, not just money. They call me the money woman, but there's so many things. There's so many things I like to talk about. And money is just one fraction of all of those things, right? Money is too small to be at the center of our lives. Do you get it? There's so much to life than money. And money is just a small aspect of wealth. So today, I've been told to speak about building and sustaining wealth. Do you mind if we say a word of prayer? Father, thank you for this afternoon. We give you all the praise and all the glory. The entrance of your word gives life and understanding to the simple. Lord, as we dive into these conversations, encourage our hearts, enlarge our hearts, give us specific keys that will take us to our next levels. Let us remember this program for good. Let that word that will revolutionize our finances come today. In Jesus' name we have prayed. All right, building and sustaining wealth. And I am going to just read a passage from the scriptures to lay a foundation for what I'll be talking about. My brother, Pastor Boye Ajayi, did a fantastic work. And let me shock you. When he was saying, save for a car, save for this and that. And I say this with all respect. I have driven 7 cars in my life, and I have not bought one with my money. So, there's a mindset to this thing. 7. I have used about 6 or 7 iPhones in the last 10 years, and I have not bought a single one. Now, this current one I am using is iPhone 11 Pro. Last year, I got an iPhone 15, the latest, but I chose to give it out. So there are levels. When it says mindset, it is important. And I think a good place to start from is that it is not about the money that you have. Do you get? Because sometimes we are talking about these things and you're doing calculation, permutation, and combination in your mind. Sometimes it is not about the money that you have. And we'll be talking about the power of leverage. Media, if you can quickly display 1 Kings chapter 17. I know it's a story that we all know. You'd permit me to read a few verses from it. And it's about the story of Elijah and the widow. How many of you remember that story? Me, I'm a person of faith. I teach from the scriptures, and I'm in church. Even if I'm not in church and I'm led to teach from the Bible, I will do so. So we're reading from 1 Kings chapter 17, and I'll read from verse 7. Thank you. Sometime later, the brook dried up because there had not been rain in the land. Go on. Then the word of the Lord came to him, to who? Elijah. Go at once to Zarephath of Sidon and stay there. I have, watch this, commanded a widow in that place to supply you with food. Shall we meet the widow? So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks. He called to her and asked, would you bring me a little water in a jar so I may have a drink? As she was going to get it, he called, and bring me, please, a piece of bread. Shall we meet the widow? And the widow said, as surely as your Lord God lives, she replied, I do not have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die. Elijah said to her, don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said. But first, make a small cake of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me. And then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord gives rain on the land. How many of you follow that story? God said, I have commanded a widow to supply you with food. And you would have expected that the widow was some wealthy woman who had a lot of cars, a lot of houses, and whatnot. And then we meet the widow. It was God Almighty that said, I have commanded a widow to take care of you. And then you go with that prophecy, and then you meet that widow who is gathering sticks so that she can make food for herself and her son from the small that she had. How can you reconcile it? When I was praying for this program, God gave me a sentence to tell everybody seated here. You know what he said? He said, tell them to make room for more. That's your word. That's your word. Make room for more. Sometimes we judge ourselves by what we think and what we have and what the society says and what people say about us. Now, God said, I have commanded her. Please, how can somebody who did not have food for herself and her son provide for Elijah the prophet? Are we together? My first assignment to you this morning is to tell you and remind you that there is more to your life than you see right now. God is boasting about you to people. Look at my daughter, a billionaire, a millionaire, a trillionaire, a nation builder. He's already boasted about you. Already. But you are there, still picking sticks. And you're like, this is all. Pastor Boye was talking about $1 million. Somebody was saying, what's he saying? I've never even seen 100,000 naira in my life. And this man is talking about $1 million. Association of Stick Pickers Congratulations. Because there is more. And he said to tell you, make room for what? More. Now, on that scripture is what I have laid the foundation of what I'll be talking about. And I'll be talking about creating and sustaining wealth. I think Pastor Boye already did the work for me, because the first foundation is having the right mindset. Believing that, see, I may be picking sticks right now, but if a prophet shows up at my door and tells me to make cake for him, I will not argue. Because some of us would have done permutation. Sir, where are you from? Are we speaking the same language? Did you hear what I just said? That I have only small flour and oil left. And I am just trying to gather sticks so that we can eat and what? That means a situation was there. It was terminal. But the man came and said, do this, first of all. And that is where the secret of wealth is. Instantly, she got a mindset shift. And I hope from that message or from that presentation that Pastor Boye did, we have started to get the mindset shift. Because if the woman's mindset did not shift from eating and dying to giving and multiplying, a story will not be in the Bible. Are we still together? So, building and creating wealth. I need you to take off that cloak of, I am not rich. My background is bad. I did not go to school. I have never been on a plane. I've never saved 100,000. Welcome. Association of Stick Pickers. I'm not saying you should disown where you are coming from. After all, they say that a man's message is from his mess. Abi? So it's okay. It's okay to know where you are coming from. We want to build wealth, but you have been broke. You have been battered. You are in debt. Some of us, we are in some indescribable level of death. It's fine. Stick pickers. We are going somewhere. But this woman did some amazing things that we are quickly going to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about, of course, I've laid the foundation that you need to see yourself in the light of God's word. You have been created in his image. Listen, in Genesis chapter 1, God introduced himself to us as a master steward. Yes, he introduced the Holy Spirit to us in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, in the beginning, there was chaos, and God brought order, resource management, world creation. There's a reason for it. And if God could bring something out of nothing, and he made us as co-creators, it means that we can bring something out of nothing, just as I have read from the example of this woman. Are we still together? Are you getting encouraged? Are you happy that God has boasted about you to someone? Listen, that person may be in the US. There is a widow in Sidon. There is a lady living in Akute, Lagos, that I have commanded to be a destiny helper. Clap for yourself, first of all. So we're going to quickly go into the meat of the presentation, and I want to talk about 4 types of wealth. I've been told to teach on building and sustaining wealth. And I wanted to make you realize that when we talk about wealth, it's not just about money. This woman's life changed. Did Elijah give her money? So when we talk about wealth, and we see another story in 2 Kings chapter 4, Elisha and yet another widow. Did Elisha give her money? Money is important, but money is just one aspect of financial wealth. Let's stop focusing on what is not the main thing. Don't get me wrong, money is important too. They will say money doesn't, solve all the problems, but money can solve all your money problems. Abi? So I'm not saying money is not good, But I'm saying that there's some other currencies that you can spend that is not cash. I just gave you an example of how I have used 7 cars in my life and I have not bought one. How do you explain it? Like this phone now, when I get tired, I'm sure in the next 1 or 2 weeks, after I get tired, another will come. That's a currency, but I'm not spending my money. So let's talk about the first type of wealth, and it is what I call time wealth. Help me tap your neighbor, time wealth. Pastor Boye was going to go into, how precious time is. I'm like, hey, don't go into my note too. Don't go into my note too. But hey, it's not a cliche to say, hey, time is important. Listen, time is more valuable than money. Only that money will make your time more valuable. Do you get it? Should I say it again? Time is more important than money. But money will make your time more valuable. Let me give you an example. If somebody comes today to this stage and says, I want to give somebody here 100 million naira. How many of us will come out? Or more? Me, self. I will remove my heel. I will come there. But the person says the caveat is your life will end tomorrow. Which one will you take? Head down now. People here like money, oh. Brother Sheyi. You will take the money. The person says 100 million, but this time tomorrow you are dead. Which one will you take? Answer me. Okay, team, 100 million, raise your hand. Nobody? Some people raise their hand, oh. Where are they? You will collect the 100 million, and this time tomorrow, your enemy is gone. I'm just trying to make you realize that, listen, you can lose money and make more money. But time, which is a fraction of your life, when you lose it, yeah, you may catch up, but you have lost it. Are we still together? Time. How do you spend your time? I know you want me to talk about, hey, make 20 million, make 30 million. But time, and the good time of time, the good use of time will determine how much you're able to do with the money or the wealth, the financial wealth that you create when it comes. Time is also not just about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I wake up, I sleep, I drink, I go to work. It's about understanding how to be at the right places at the right time. This woman could have decided not to have gone to pick sticks at that time of the day. Do you get it? There's something about timing. I like the the passage that talks about the men of Issachar. And it said they had understanding of the times and seasons, and they knew what their brother or their brothers, Israel, ought to do per time. Many of us don't have clarity because we do not understand the concept of time. Ephesians 5:16 says, redeeming the time. Many of us, I'm not a time coach, but I am saying that what you will achieve in life is a function of understanding how to use your time, how to fit yourself in the right places, how to approach something or someone, and how not to approach them. What you do, talking about reading of books, having coaches, those are the things you decide to do with your time. Listen, I was speaking somewhere and I said, do you know that there's a research that says that every single person in life makes at least 80,000 decisions a day, or choices. You can help me quickly fact find that. That you sat on that particular chair, choice 1, when you came in. That you didn't sit here. That you wore what you are wearing, choice 2. the earring, the shoes, the glasses, the hair you made, the people you greeted. We make a lot of choices. And listen, for those who are wealthy, we are wealthy. The difference is in the choices that we make by the use of our time. There is no financial wealth. There is no wealth creation and multiplication if you do not value your time. That's why they will say elevator pitch. Please, how many hours is elevator pitch? How many hours? How many hours? How many hours? 1 minute. Let's even say 1 minute. So they ask you, you meet a wealthy person or Dangote on an elevator. And he says, okay, hi, yes. I know that this generation, they are not here, Pastor Inda. His phone, they will bring out for selfie. No, those people are they here? No. But the people who understand the concept of time know that they have 1 minute to pitch something. Let me ask you, if you meet, I don't want to say Dangote because there are many other people, right, who are wealthy that are not even famous, but you meet somebody that you admire in an elevator, what are you going to tell them? Excuse me, sir, I really admire you. You are doing a great job, sir. Affirmation? Will you make an affirmation? Will you make a request? Or will you prove a point? Whatever you do is a function of what you have been doing with your time. The Bible says time and chance happen to them all. The time is the preparation. The chance is the opportunity. Are we together? So what are you doing? The Bible says out of the abundance of the mind, a man speaks. You find yourself under pressure. What you do is a function of what you have been doing with your time. You find yourself with an opportunity. Whatever you do is a function of what you have been doing behind the scenes. You have been watching. What are some of the things they watch these days now? Because I'm even Telemundo. Did they still do Telemundo? Z-World, Abby. DSTV or which one? Because we have not done. So that when your opportunity comes to pitch yourself for that job, for that role. Let me give a very practical example. I run a foundation apart from Smart Stewards called the Fruit Foundation. And it's an NGO for widows. What do? We help them. We've been doing it. Actually, we registered Fruit Foundation before Smart Stewards. But we'll call them together maybe 12 years ago. Give them stuff every year. And I'll be like, or every quarter. These women, these widows. And then December of 2022, I just told my team, I said, I want to do more. At our next outreach, let us divide them into cells. The people that are from Bariga, the people that are from... I didn't know why I was doing it. That day we had called them to give them the usual rice and everything. But I just had this, brain wave in my mind. 4 months later, I saw an advert that the U.S. consulate was going to give out grants for spectacular initiatives and all of that. And I'm like, wait, So I put a proposal together. Widows from impoverished areas in Lagos. This is what and what and what and what we're going to do for them. We won that grant, because there was already a conception. And I put a framework together in the past. Some of us want things to happen to us, but we are not actively using our time, using our mind, using our conversations to prepare for the things that we do not have. Listen, a separate widow, a different widow, would not have handled that situation right. Shall we even talk about the fact that she still had something at home? God knew that she was a vessel and a potential. If she did not have that flour and oil at home, I bet God would not have sent Elijah to her, because there would not have been any tool for multiplication. Are we still together? Many of us are praying for miracles. And God says, okay, I want to add my 1 million to your own number. What number do you have? 0. 1 million times 0, God. Do it again. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, many times. You are waiting for a husband. I mean, this is not financial. It's not about wealth. But you are trusting God for a husband. What are you doing with your single days? Listen, marriage is not a scam. But they don't tell you the real truth. Sometimes I look at my 3 boys, I'm like, who is your mommy, Seth? Where exactly is your mommy? Go and look for your mommy elsewhere. I need my time. I need those days when I could do anything I wanted. I was sitting here and I was thinking about the next homework. WhatsApp was dropping from the school. Homework 1, geometry, primary 4, geometry, algorithm, the things that I did not do in my time. Who is going to school? Who is doing homework? So I'm like, gosh, I will value every single time and season of my life. And I will use it to prepare myself. Time wealth. Listen, your financial wealth is accentuated when you understand. You see, wealthy people, we say, I don't have time. You think they're lying or they don't want to see you. The human brain is like a computer system. Last week I told my team members, I said, listen, I need to calm down. My brain is overworking. I am working on 20 projects at the same time. Hoping and praying that at least 5 will materialize. When those 5 materialize, no. It's a done deal. And that's how my life is. I watch TV, don't get me wrong. I hang out with my friends. Yesterday was TV day. Like first time in like 2 weeks. TV, is that you? Bridgerton. We finished it yesterday. So don't get me wrong. But balance. Balance. You want to become a millionaire. What are you conceiving? You want to become the next fashion designer for whatever. What are you conceiving? You want to start a business. I do this all the time, but I'm not led to do it. I'd have called 3 persons to come and tell us what they can do with ₦1 million each today. And then you see people come out. Actually, if I get ₦1 million today, I will give my mommy 300,000. And then I will do business. You're not ready. You're not spending your time to... I love a quote that says that nothing guarantees a good future like a correct picture. And you cannot feature in a future you can't picture. Should I say it again? Nothing guarantees a good future like a correct picture. And you cannot feature in a future you can't picture. What does that mean? It starts from here. When I was younger, I used to live with my aunts, and she had, our last daughter was my age. 9, 10, 11. We will play on the field. We were living at Igbobi College back then. And then we'll start to fantasize. Oh, when we go to London, we will now buy shoe for this person, bag for this. We were young. Those things were so ingrained in our mindsets that the first time I got to the UK, it felt familiar. I'd never been there, but I had lived it in my mind. When I got on the underground train, I'm like, I've been in this thing before. My mind. So I would rather spend my time ideating, creating stuff, even though the money is not there. If they had told the widow in 2 Kings chapter 4 that she was going to become an oil dealer, she would have said, how? But you know what? She had that jar of oil at home. And she obeyed. Time wealth. Are we still together? Or is the basketball too much? Let's go on to the second one, which is people wealth, or what I call social wealth. That one, I can stay on it from now till tomorrow. Because I have been blessed by having the right people. Listen, Elijah needed that woman, and that woman needed Elijah. But you will say, was it not a bird that was feeding? Even God needed a bird to feed Elijah. And then he said, enough. Move to the widow. Some of us, we say the most, I don't know how to put it. People have showed me I can never do anything with people again. May God give you the right people. Amen. May God connect you with the right people in your life. Amen. 2 years ago, I had a very, very, very serious deadline to meet up with an investment. And within 1 hour, we needed to provide 200 million naira so we don't lose an opportunity. Yes. So I called a friend and I said, see, this situation is a serious one. If we lose this thing, we are lost. And then she said, give me a few minutes. 1 hour, 200 million was complete, and my single kobo was not there. People wealth. Now, that wasn't the first time. Let me give you a bit of history. Because some people will say, when I get home now, let me go and call my friends to give me 20 million. The days of 10 million, we will return it in 2 days. And we'll return it in 2 days. The days of 1 million investment club, we'll return it in 6 hours. And we'll return it. If we had not done that, how would we have raised 200 million in 1 hour? Sazama, there is something called leverage. And Pastor Ida used that word. I am a product of leverage. I have gotten to places where I pinch myself. I'm like, how did I get here? There's a place for proficiency and skills, but there's a place for recommendation. Have you seen the servant or the son of Jesse? He's good looking. He's skillful. That was how David got into the palace. Listen, there's no amount of wealth. Wealthy people depend on other wealthy people for their wealth to expand. All of these things that we are saying, you'll be on social media, you are bickering, you are abusing yourself. They play. They play. What they do behind the scenes. What makes up the net worth of a lot of wealthy people is money they have collected from bank that they have not paid back. But they are using that money as a leverage to achieve their results. And they say, partner with this collaboration. No, women. But we are signed out of that school. No, me, I can't talk to them. We'll see the way she's looking at me. Look at what she has said. The woman needed the prophetic power that Elijah had. And Elijah needed the small oil and flour that she had. But that's not the complete story. God needed both of them. Who are your friends? Sometimes you need to do a friendship audit. Let me tell you how I, curate my circles. Like Jesus, there's the 70 big circle. There's the 12 smaller circle. There's the 3 yet a smaller circle. And there's the 1. Some of you want to be friends with you. Everybody is your friend. Go and look at the meaning of friendship. There are acquaintances and there are friends. So when you bring something that is meant to be shared with your 70 online, you're doing yourself injustice now. I know that sometimes we itch to share some things. Why don't you look for your 70, put them in a WhatsApp, and tell them, my people, you are my own. I want to resist the temptation to put what is not meant to be on social media there. And there's that one person that knows what the 3 do not know. But everybody you meet is your friend. Everybody is your family member. Ekpeleo, family member. What are you discussing? So, inflation has been an issue, I get it. Are you discussing Or are you in the group of those who are saying, that Tinubu, whoa, next election, ni vote for? They play. The people that are making money under this administration, they are cashing in. Me, in my life, I'm not sure I've made any money as much as I've made this year. Because my economy cannot be dictated by the local, national, or global economy. Spiritual economy. And my gifts and talents. The Bible did not say, seest that a man that is connected to the government and he will stand before, what did the Bible say? Seest that a man diligent in his. Okay, a word is enough for the wise. People, be intentional. Some of us need to step out of our comfort zone. I love what Pastor Boye said. There was a day, 2 or 3 years ago, I paid for a course with all my savings because I wanted to break into a circle. And I broke into it, and my life has not remained the same. Sometimes you pay for access. Sometimes you are paying for a course not because of that course, but because you will get the necessary access into that person's wider inner circle. And once you are there, your life is made. There are courses that I have done. You know, I signed up for a course that has changed my entire career, and I'm grateful. 2 of them. So they said, one person from LBS sent me a flyer, Shola, your coach, send it to your community. I'm like, my community? Me, Nko? She said, oh, you are joking. I said, I'll be there. I registered. We went to LBS. I was the one seated in front. I saw all my survivors. Coach, what are you doing there? Well, are you fasting? No, I'm learning. I finished that course. I became top of mind. It was a foreign stuff. I will mention the name soon. Cherry Blair Foundation. They had a Road to Growth program. 6 months after, they sent me an email to say they wanted to showcase 6 businesses across Africa, 2 from Nigeria. Can they showcase my company? I'm like, are you whining me? I'm showcase, I'm case show, I'm available. So they came to my company, did all the documentary, still on their website. Then last year, we're going to do our UK conference. Me, I follow up. Connectional intelligence. It's not just about knowing people. Well, let me not even go into it. So I went for our UK conference. I sent them an email. I said, you know what? I'm in town, guys. I'm inviting the team to come for our conference. And they said, no, we cannot come because da-da-da-da. Okay. But can you come to our office on Tuesday? I'm like, what am I doing that I will not come? So I went to their office. I did not know Cherry Blair, the wife of former Prime Minister of the UK. How many of you know him? Tony Blair was going to be at the office that day. Time and chance. I had taken 3 of my books. As soon as I entered the office, one door opened. I was climbing the staircase. And it was her. They didn't tell me. I said, oh, hi, Shola, I've heard so much about you. I'll meet you at the conference room. Now, so they play. Oh, conference room filled up. So I brought out my book. She brought out a book too. We did photos. I said, by the way, we have a fundraiser next month to celebrate 100,000 women. Will you be able to speak? Ma, are you whining me? I'm a spokist. I'm a speaker. I can speak. They bought my tickets. On my Instagram page, the very first photo, the second one you would see, is a photo of myself and Tony Blair. Now, what they did not then tell me was that at that event, Tony Blair himself will be there. So I gave my speech, did my thing, says that a man diligent. And then somebody taps me to say, that was a very good speech. The rest, as they say, is history. Many doors have opened. How did it start? A flyer that was beneath me. They said, Coach Shola, send the flyer to your women. I said, me, I am part of the women. I have many examples. You cannot want to build wealth and alienate yourself from people. I can't deal with those kind of people. You can't be broke and proud at the same time. broke, ready to choke, and you are still pouting. You don't know that a credit alert any day, no matter how small, is bigger than a debit alert. Where are the men here? Valentine's Day, you take a girl, beautiful girl, to the restaurant. And you tell her, welcome, wound me, take anything. And you know you have only 20,000 naira in your account. And the lady, very modest lady, she decided not to wound you. She just ordered, are you not eating? I know, I'm fine. I ate before I came. And your bill came, 20,250 naira. You know that if you present that card, what happens? Transaction. And then you go into the restroom and you call your guy, send me 500. Will 500 save the day or not? So why are you saying there's small money? Come on. You are not making money. You are not going out of your comfort zone to say, what can I do? I put up a post yesterday, a few years ago, I was consulting for a company, and I would take my lunch every day. Around noon, everybody will be complaining, oh, come and go and buy stuff for us. And they will say, transport, ma, is one. I said to buy donut, transport is 1,000 VI. So on my way home one day, I was so furious. For the first time, I saw a snack shop around my house, so I packed. And I said, tomorrow is Friday, I'm coming to pack snacks to resell. You're going to give me a discount. So I packed it Friday morning, took it to work. 1 hour, I gave it to my office assistant. She had sold out. I said, On my way back home that day, I said, I'm not selling again. Come and teach me. And that was how, in addition to being a chartered accountant, I became a chartered donut maker. Chartered egg roll maker. Because I understand that money you are calling small is a seed. Are seeds not small? Are seeds not small when you use them the right way? Many of us, we have a lot of misplaced priorities. Your first car, it has to be a Range Rover. They play. I'm not saying don't think big, oh. I'm just saying they play. We have allowed social media, the glamour, the lies, we are setting very unrealistic expectations. Forgetting that, listen, even God is stooped down to take dust to create Adam. People wealth. Physical wealth, number 3. I have about 3 minutes more. Some of us don't associate wellness, mental wellness and physical wellness, to building wealth. Listen, I'm not here to come and tell you about saving and budgeting. Pastor Sheyi and Pastor Inda, we will do that during the panel. But let's rewire ourselves. If you are not in the right frame of mind, you cannot create wealth. They are fighting on social media, your comments are 20 out of 200. What are you doing with your life? You think you are just wasting time, but you are also expending mental energy. Then you sleep at night, you are having different dreams. How can you ideate when you are putting your nose and your mouth in the things that do not concern you? Some of us, you are like, no, when I have money, I will take care of myself. You don't sleep well? May that money not meet you in the hospital. Oh. You don't take care of your mental health. You put your nose in what doesn't concern you. This woman was physically fit enough to come and gather sticks. Now the person where fit gather sticks. Oh. Women, shall we talk a bit about our about our physical wealth? I know the wigs, the clothes, the shoes are nice. But how about internally? You are 40, you are approaching 45, you don't take supplements, you think you are still that 20-year-old girl? No woman here will experience cancer in Jesus' name. Or any terminal disease. There are some sicknesses that money cannot answer to. And And they're preventable. You are 40, you have not done your mammogram. You have not done pap smear. You eat, listen, money will come. But the little that you have, apportion it well, use it well. You are not eating balanced diet. One day money comes to you. You now go and order shawarma. Shawarma is that healthy food that you need at that point in time. You are not intentional. We like to look good, make up, everything. And your body is, listen, our body speaks. I lost my eldest brother. He would have been 60 in September, 3 weeks ago. Burial is next week. Totally avoidable issues in some cases. Let's take care of our wealth. So that when the money comes, which is the last one, financial wealth, we have the mental bandwidth and the resources to enjoy it. Are we still together? Now, we talk about financial wealth. Give me 2 minutes like Pastor Boye did. Under financial wealth, we then talk about how you manage, multiply money. I've dropped ins. How do you make more money? Money gravitates towards value. And value is a function of what you can do. Some of you are sitting on talents. I tell people, you can monetize 5 things. Your passion, your proficiency, your potentials, your personal experiences, and your personality. Everybody here has a small flour and oil in their homes. But don't be proud. Don't be lazy. You don't want to think there's chat GPT. I was on a group yesterday, and somebody was supposed to deliver something. And by the time the person wrote the thing, the person said, at least go and use chat GPT to do this thing now. I'm not sure there's any generation that is as blessed as our generation. Do you agree with me? We have technology. We have mentoring. Our parents didn't have those things. Generations unborn will blame us if we do not make use of those things. Go back home. What can I immediately monetize? I just gave you a story of how there was a need, and I started to sell egg roll and donut. For as long as I did that business, it gave me good money. I stopped it because I'm like, am I submitting your new egg roll? Please. I wasn't ready to put in systems and structures around it. Make money. How? Before you go today, meet at least 5 people. Exchange ideas. What do you do? How can I help you? What value can I bring to the table? Manage money. Then we talk about budgeting, saving, investing. And then we talk about multiplying money. I believe we would, touch on these things. But let me leave you as we talk about building and sustaining wealth. Remember when I started, I said cash is not the only form of currency. There are other 4 forms of currency I want to mention, and I'll drop the mic. The first one is what I call credibility. It's a currency that you can spend. People can swear that, if this person says so, she will do it. Number 2 currency, credible contacts. I already talked about it. Have the right set of people in your life. Number 3, competence. Don't blame people for what you are not competent. Some of us, we have changed jobs 20 times. We keep blaming others. It's because you are largely incompetent. Number 4, character. And then number 5, cash. Those are 5 types of money you can spend under financial wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, make money, but the goal is to build wealth. Those 4 types of wealth that I have described. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse, right? Thank you, and God bless.
Please put your hands together for her once again. An amazing. I believe we can do better. Thank you so much, Ma. You are indeed the money woman. Please let's have our seat. All right, so like I mentioned earlier when we started, one of the things we're going to be looking at today, or one of the features we're going to be having today, is a panel discussion, and that is what we are about right now. Okay, and we're going to be talking about our personal finances. And to do justice to that, I want you to jam your hands together even as I call up these people. They say ladies first, but I want to give her a minute to breathe, right? So I'm going to start with the MD of Codras Assets Investment Limited. We call him Pastor Boli. But he is, I know, please come up, sir. Please put your hands together for him. Like I mentioned earlier, the advantage of conferences like this is that you get to meet people that you would not ordinarily meet, on your way, wherever it is you're going to. Also, joining us is a financial instructor and educator. He's also a financial influencer, the popular Shady Assistant. Please put your hands together for him. And last but not least, the money woman herself, Shola Adeshaki. Please put your hands together for her. Put your hands together for these people. All right. So we're going to be talking about our personal finances, and basically, what we're going to be looking at is mastering your finances. And when I saw this topic, the first thing that came to my mind was, why would you even want to master your finances in the first place? And I think it's because we want to, at some point, have some level of financial freedom, the ability to do the things you want to do without having to, pinch pennies or, save, as it were, save for 100 years. Like that man who was trying to buy a fan in a song, and then he saved and saved and saved. And when he was eventually able to put the money together, the price, inflation had caught up with the price of the fan, and then he had to start saving again. All right, so to kickstart, I would want to ask you, Ma, what is financial mastery? Now, you look, when everybody sees you, we have this idea. She's so put together. Were you born? Because I know that at some point I read that, I think I remember you saying in one of your videos that you were earning a large amount of money at some point, and at the end of the month, you couldn't really tell what you had done with the money. How did you make that transition from that point up until now?
All right, thank you. You didn't even allow me catch my breath. But it's okay. All right. So financial mastery, in my opinion, is the ability to take on the mindset, the knowledge set, the skill set, and the tool set to win with your finances. Listen, when we were born into this world, we were born as empty, like an empty canvas, as a baby. From day one, actually from the womb, the baby starts to form patterns. When to eat, so we're largely a function of the things that we have learned. So when we talk about mastery, just like we heard earlier on, it's about unlearning what is not right and taking on what is right, so you can, make the most of your finances. I qualified as a chartered accountant about 23 years ago. And in the earlier part of my career, I was always broke. And, we think that because we have gone to school, we know what it takes to understand how money works. No. They teach us how to become lawyers, doctors, and accountants. It's only in recent years that financial literacy is being introduced into school. So I was that broke accountant whose finances were scattered. I was earning about 500,000 17 years ago. And 2 weeks after salaries were paid, I was broke. Because I had the mindset of an accountant, but I didn't have what it takes, the mindset of financial mastery and literacy, which is what I tell people. There are PhD holders who are broke. Master's degree holders who are broke. Financial literacy is a different ballgame. So I went through a lot of hard knocks, personal experiences. I unlearned the things that were wrong. What were the things I was doing with my money? BA is doing sales. We go. 100,000 tickets to London. We go. Because I didn't know better. So, illiteracy or ignorance is not an excuse. So you are either ignorant or you are aware. So choose the one you want. So, like I said, financial mastery is having, first of all, the right mindset about money. Being aware that, okay, I need to get my finances in place. Then getting the knowledge. How? Read books. Attend webinars. Join communities like Smart Stewards, where I laid. Like, he's going to tell us the name of his community. That's the knowledge. Then the skill set. Know how to save. How to budget. Where should I put my money? What is money market mutual fund? How can I access it? Mindset, knowledge set, and the skill set. And then tool set, like the things they say at Codros, some of the resources they provide. So what I'm saying in essence is financial mastery doesn't jump on you. It has to be deliberately and intentionally acquired. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I've gone from being broke, ready to choke, I'm proud, to putting money and forgetting monies in investments. Because life is run by principles. When you do the right things, the results will follow.
Awesome. I'd like to go ahead. You can put your hands together for her. I'd like to also mention that at some point we'll be taking questions from the audience, but do send your questions to slido.com, hashtag 3450429. I believe the link will also be on the screen, so please send your questions there. We'll take questions at some point. All right, Sheyi, my question is, tell us, because I know you, right? And I don't think you were this put together. I mean, you have become like, you're popular now. You're known as a financial educator and instructor and influencer. How did you make that transition? You know, I remember you had some drama at some point. I don't know if you want to share that. Yes, please go ahead, because I think that would encourage someone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I want to start by reading this thing that I wrote down while I was there. Don't run with another man's word. Get yours. There is more. In 2022, I was seated somewhere around there. This is my church. I was there somewhere around there. And Pastor T, thank you. Thank you for just doing what you do. And he just gave the word. Right? The word was something around what you're doing now is insignificant. As you start to do it more and more, the light of God is coming upon you. The word was so strong, I knew it was my word. When I got home that day, I played that part on our YouTube page and literally wrote down that prophecy, and I started to pray with it day in, day out. Then I had like 1,000 followers, or nobody knows my papa. And then I was also in a situation, I'd gotten into a series of debts. My wife helped. She took out all her savings. Women have money in piggy vest. She had taken out all her money in piggy vest and given it to me. We used to have 2 cars. We've sold one. At a point, I converted the car. When I'm coming from work, I would do Yanoworo. What's that thing? Yanoworo. I started forgetting now. Ikoyi, I'll carry passengers to my vehicle so that I can make, money on the side. I remember I have an insurance policy then, And Pastor Omi, thank you. Pastor Omi is my account officer in the insurance space. I didn't even tell her before I withdrew the money. You are saving for your future. I said, it is somebody. Let me save myself now. Before the future, let me save myself now. So I took all the money, was just trying to pay off the loan, pay off the loan. And then I started reaching out to some people. Bishop, thank you very much. He just spoke that word to me that day, and it was as though a veil was lifted up my eyes. He just said, why are you just paying and all of that? And for me, that was also the turning point, coupled with the word, the prayer I've been praying from that time. I just committed time to doing what I was doing, the little thing, the simplicity at which I write my content. I really am not, even though I read accounting, even though I'm a doctoral student, I'm going to get a PhD. That doesn't matter. I want to break down things so that my audience can understand. I just share simple stories every day. I come online, God, what story would you have me share today? And I share the story. That's what I do, literally. So, out of sharing these stories, I started getting responses from people. And there are things that I do, things happening in my daily life are things that I share. And as I start to share, I start to get responses. I started seeing the numbers go up. 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. And it's not even the vanity metrics. It's not the numbers. But the opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. A lot can happen in 2 years. If I tell you, there was a time I was in church. I sat beside someone. Let me see whether the person is here. When we started doing pay offering into account, right? And Pastor Bola was the one that made an announcement that day and said, oh yeah, your offering, pay your offering and all of that. And everybody logged into their account. Yeah. God forgive me, oh God forgive me. And I mistakenly saw that person's, the balance. Yeah. Many zeros. The song that came to my mind, I'm serious. Jesu Yoshe Yanu. Baba Miyo. But today, I check my account balance and I'm seeing the number of zeros. I'm getting my statement of account, from my investment, yeah. Codros, Cardinal Stone Partners, yeah. All the guys that I deal with. And I'm checking, I'm seeing these zeros. I sent money to my wife. We paid after school. We paid some bills. And then I'd forgotten that we've paid it. I just asked her again that, babe, please, have I paid for this? I'm going to send you money for this. But but you have paid now.
Too much money.
I paid. I've forgotten that I have paid. Yes. A lot can happen in a very short while. But yes. To bring to conclusion what I'm saying, yes. Get your word. There is a word for every person. Don't miss that word. And let me tell you what my itinerary looks like for the rest of this year. Yes. Right? 24th, I'm speaking to a group in Canada. I'm going to OAU. I'm going to Crawford University. I'm going to Umaya. I'm going to some school in Zupa. Places that I've never heard before. Yeah. I'm going to London this year. Yes.
And all that happened in the space of 2 years.
A lot can happen.
Now, I before you drop the mic, I want to ask. I hear you saying, or you said that, at some point you had to, because of the financial stress, you had to do like carpool, right? What were the, okay, so you had your word, right? That's one. And then at some point you also had to, do the carpool. What were the little, what would you say was like maybe the little, because I think the power of compound effect is also very important here. Sometimes we think it's in doing the big things, but sometimes it's really in being consistent with the little things. So what were the little things that you just changed and you were consistent with?
Okay, I think the first thing is, if you are broke, broke. There are two kind of people. There are those that are broke, which is just a temporary state. They are broke because they have their money in investment. But we have the broke. Those that are broke and they don't have money anywhere. So if you're in that space, your 5 to 9, let's say you have a job, you have a 9 to 5. The inverse of that is your 5 to 9. Your 5 to 9 becomes an asset. You can't be broke and you are sleeping and you're saying weekend. After church, you go home and sleep. It's not possible. Your 5 to 9 becomes an asset. Let me tell you, apart from that carpooling, another thing I do, that I still do now, I just got a message from one of my clients, and I'm not joking. While I was seated there, wait.
We believe you.
She said, this is just now. Good afternoon, Shay. Please, what souvenir item can I get for 15K each? Lagos Market.
And you're in Abuja.
There is nobody that knows Lagos Market more than me. Gorodom, Balogun, Oh, Jesus. Guys, let me not take time. Let another person just talk.
All right, please put your hands together for him. And yes, I can attest to that because I think you've done. So, Pastor Malao, I want to ask something. She said something about, okay, no, it was she who said something about, paying his debt, My question is it a wise idea to pay up your debt with loans? Because I know people are seated here now, and I'm sure that there's someone who has a debt and he's thinking, how do I get out of this? Do I take a loan to pay up the debt?
Okay, thank you and welcome everybody. So it's not a straight answer, and it depends on the debt. So if I'm going to get a cheaper debt to pay off existing loan, that makes sense. So if I have a loan at 20%, I'm able to get a cheaper loan maybe at 10%, that can make sense. But in that case, if you are taking expensive money to pay a loan, it doesn't make sense because it's still that same debt circle. But as much as possible, I think people should try and avoid debt, except you are using it for investment. So in investment, they tell us that debt is cheaper than equity, and which is true. If I'm able to see an investment that is going to give me a better return than my cost of debt or the money I'm paying on the loan, it makes sense. It's a no-brainer. However, if I'm taking debt to live La Vida Loca, I'm traveling over the world, I'm buying iPhone 15, I'm driving cars I can't afford to impress people that don't care about me, that doesn't make sense. So it depends on what you're using debt for. Debt can be good if it's used to good use. And look at it, any big company usually have a debt on their book. So they'll tell you about your capital structure, and can have a good level of equity, a good level of debt. Dangote, for instance, is always in the CP market, raising commercial paper. But it doesn't need to expand its business to scale. So debt is not a bad thing. It's the intention, the use of it. And taking debt to pay your loan is also not a bad thing if it's cheaper than the existing loan. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so in short, don't take a loan to do low spending, right?
Absolutely, to flex. Yeah. All right. So, Ma, I want to ask, you talked about, by the way, I read that online, when you talked about a chartered accountant being a chartered donut maker, was really hilarious, but it was really impactful. Now, there's this concept, some people say when you're doing too many things, it's like you're being a jack of all trades. How do you balance that with multi-streams of income?
All right, so let me try and unbundle that question very quickly. Why should you have multiple streams of income? Your expenses are multiple in nature. And in most cases, it's hard to be able to meet all your expenses from one source of income. That's reason number one. Reason number two is, money is so fickle that money loses value all the time. For example, you had $360,000 in your bank account 6 years ago. You could buy $1,000. If you had left that money as $360,000 in your Naira bank account, by now you would have realized that, it was, if you had converted it to $1,000, you would have had that $1,000. And that's why you see wealthy people. Why is Elon Musk moving from Tesla to Twitter, from Twitter to space? It's not because they just want to do many things. They are also secure. Remember my topic, building and sustaining. It takes a whole lot to sustain the money that you have, the wealth that you have. Every single day, money is depreciating. So when you look at it from that point of view, it gives you a reason to want to sort of fortify your income base. Now, coming to the question, if you do many things, would you not be termed as, a jack of all trades? I tell people that there's a stage in your life where jack of all trades, you don't have to be master of all, which is fine. Sometimes you are jack of all trades because you need that multiple sources of income to make ends meet. As you consolidate your resources, as you find your bearing, it gets better. Why did I drop donuts and egg roll? My finances became better, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather use my time to do, because at that time, I would stay all night with my house help. Something that I just wanted to experiment, and then it became and all of a sudden, people were calling, Ma, we need 200. I'm like, hey, no. I'd rather use my time for something else. But whilst it lasted, I enjoyed it. So, if bills are multiple in nature, you have to find a means of augmenting and ensuring that your needs are met. So, you don't have to be master of all. I tell people, like 4 years ago, I had about 12 sources of income. And I still tell you till today.
Sorry, did you say 12?
Yes.
Okay. That's a record breaker.
There is no single day of my life where I don't get a credit alert. Up until today. Today's alert has come in. It's a function of systems. But there are things I do that don't make it to social media. What I want you to know me as on social media is a chartered accountant, a finance and wealth coach. That's all you know. But there are many things I do that you don't know. So don't be that person whose page has Gary, has Egro, has Weavon. Be known for something, but back end, consolidate. Do things that will help your finances and help you meet your needs. So jack of all trade, master of none. I don't have to be a master of none, of all, as long as my needs are met. But when you hear Shola Adeshaki, what comes to mind? Every other thing, the monies that I made back end, they give me more money than what you know me for. But I'm fine with it. Do you see? So I'm encouraging you. The goal is to get yourself to a level whereby you put in the right systems in place so that your needs are met, whilst you are known as master of one. Extra, do you want me to share the 12 sources of income? Who wants to know?
Please go ahead.
Now, just to give you an idea, they're basic, simple things. I call them my C's. Some of them I don't do again because time and, levels have changed. But if opportunities still come, I do them. Number one is my career as a chartered accountant. Like my profile read, I'm an accountant in 3 continents. Nigeria, Africa, the UK, and Canada. I don't actively practice accounting again because my passion has moved, has changed. But I'm still a chartered accountant. I pay millions every year. How can I leave money on the table? So I partnered with someone who has a passion for accounting. I bring in the clients, she executes. I just know that end of the month, money comes into my account. That's number one. I'm a coach, finance coach. I coach individuals. I coach high net worth individuals. Some of these other things that I run after, when one of my clients pays me, I'm okay for the year. So I coach. Number 2, C. Number 3, C. Are you still interested? I earn commissions. I sell tickets. As I am. What does it cost me? I signed up on big ticketing agencies. Waka Now, Travel Start, Travel Den. Some people are too lazy to go online, to go and buy tickets. So they come to me and say, Shola, I need a ticket. On some tickets, I make 1 million naira. What did I do? I sit behind my computer, I check from to, I do all the details, I give it back to you. I earn commission. You can be an affiliate. And it doesn't have to be commission tickets. There are companies who are looking for people that can sell their products for them. But all these, there's a popular term that we say now. You are trying to post, trying to impress people that do not even care about you. So commissions. I'm a creative. I design websites. And not just any type of website.
You design websites? I
design and I build websites.
Wow.
That is why the people that work with me, they can't use me to do yanga. I'm a very spontaneous person. I can wake up in the middle of the night and I want something up. You now call them and I say, Madam, okay, in 2 weeks we will do it. You're wasting my time. I go online, bang, 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 I fixed it. There was a time in my life I was doing social media management for people. I made money from it. A credit alert is always a credit alert. I don't do that anymore, but I'm telling you, the young people, that's why I'm saying, what are you doing with your time? How many C's? Number 5, I told you I'm a confectioner. I went to learn how to make donuts. Yours truly, chartered, do not
Make
make
her
her. God forbid, if my enemy is broke today, it's a skill I can always fall back on. When you learn things, you learn it for yourself. Give me flour, sugar, butter on this stage. I will make donuts, egg roll, scotch egg, and I will sell. Money gravitates towards value. Value is a function of what you can bring to the... Are we still together? How many C's? Number 6C. I am a conference speaker. I've spoken in places where the money they gave me as conference speaker fees is more than what I will get in 1 year from my investments. So I continue to own my skills. Tell yourself, I am the asset. Some of you, you are looking for investments, which is good, which is fine. I'm not against investments. But sometimes, when you invest in yourself, the money that you will make using your gift and talents, one time will give you all of the money that your investment will not give you in 2 years. How many C's?
6.
Let me stop there.
Yeah, please put your hands together.
Because of time.
Because somebody is busy writing. All right, Pastor Bola, I want to ask, have you ever made a bad investment?
Definitely. I don't think there's anyone that's ever made any. I don't think there's anyone that's not made a bad investment. I've made couple of bad investments, but the idea is to win more than you lose. Yeah. I usually share the popular story of when I tried fish farming with a friend, and the fish just stopped growing. We kept feeding the fish. All of a sudden, I even took my daughter's school fees then, put into the fish farm. But of course, I knew there was money coming and all that. So we sold at a loss, but at work as well, there have been some maybe wrong investments. But I would say over time, because investments sometimes are in circles, you're able to understand the financial markets. So the chance of making losses are being reduced. And I would say sometimes you just need to do it afraid. You need to have all the facts. So I'm not saying you should make an investment with not having facts. I think the mistake is that a lot of people take wrong investment decisions. They don't have enough knowledge. So get enough knowledge. Try to know the risk in every investment and what are the mitigants. So people just go into investment blindly. Every investment has risk. So know the risk, and for every risk, know that there are mitigants. And if you're able to sort of take all the mitigants, then can go into the investment. I think another thing is...
So how do you spot those red flags in an investment?
Okay. So the popular case is the MMM. And I can remember when that happened, I was so sure that it was just a matter of time. I can remember telling my wife that this was going to just fold up. A lot of people in our office were doing it. And I don't think she did it, but she was also, but these people are making money now. She sees them making money and all that. But eventually they folded up. So when investment does not have any underlying assets, what are they investing in? That's a red flag. The person that is in charge of the investments, maybe just one person, it might be a red flag because that's a key man risk. Yeah. What if that person is no more? If the investment or the vehicle is not registered as well, that's a red flag. So track record as well. What is the track record of that investment? I want to tell you that this thing is guaranteed. You can never lose money. That's also a red flag. And I can remember when all these agri-tech companies were sort of taking expensive money, maybe they say 30% for a month. I knew that a lot of them were going to fold up because it wasn't sustainable. Yeah. So understand the underlying assets for that investment. Yeah. There should be a track record and what the sponsor of that investment. And if all those boxes don't tick, those are some of the red flags for that investment. All
right, thank you very much. Shay, I'd like to ask you, balancing. I mean, some people are entrepreneurs, some people are professionals. How do you balance? Because I know that you do both, right? How do you balance being an employer and being an employee? Being an employee and being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing.
Okay, I think the word balance should be thrown out. A lot of times you can't really balance things. You just have to do the things that you need to do. So there are times that some things are more important. This is where the scale of preference comes to play. You know, it's just like talking to a married woman, right? there are times that you need to put a scale of preference. And let me give an example. I got an opportunity, I got a job in Abuja, right? And when I was talking to people at my conference, I held a finance conference in Abuja, and one person asked a question, and it happens to fall on the Women's Day, right? So if it was my wife who got the opportunity to move to Abuja for a job, would she have taken that step? Maybe not. Because on the scale of preference, our kids are still small, right? They need her at that point in time. So what I'm saying in essence is this word balance. There are times that Oma Fisibikon. You have to,
Okay, so
this
how
is
do you
what is more
manage?
important. So for me, I think it's delegation. You must be willing to trust people more. There are times that I set aside some things. I have some invitations that I can't honor because I have to do things for my boss. We have a calendar. I've planned the year out, right? These are things that I need to do. I only take invitations, or I only honor invitations on dates that are free, that we don't have anything to be done in the office. Yeah. So that's what I do.
All right, please put your hands together for him. Quickly, we will take questions now. Okay, so this person says, how do I begin my investment journey? There seem to be so much buzz about investment, but no clear guide on how to start. I'm 40 and I'm worried I'm late at this. Yes.
Well, so I would say never too late to start. There's no better time to make a right decision. So you can start from where you are. Interestingly, a lot of the billionaires worldwide, if you look at the statistics, they began to make money in their 50s and in their 60s. So as a 40-year-old man, you are still young. What I would say is that just start simple. There are different kinds of investments, but you need to understand investments. So you can start with a simple money market fund, for instance. What that does for you, it gives you capital preservation and gives you liquidity. And understand your life cycle. So for instance, how much am I making? Do I have a job? How much can I afford to keep? Do I have kids, for instance? I remember a story, someone that has retired, earned a lot of money while working, and he went to put all his investments in a risky investment, and he lost everything. At that state of your life, you can't afford to do risky investments. So you need to understand your life cycle. What kind of investment can I take? But I'll say start small, start simple, start with like a money market investment, fixed deposit, commercial paper. Those gives you guarantee. Then, of course, begin to read investment articles. You can register with an investment firm. What they do for you is that they do research, they give recommendation, and that helps you. But it's never too late to start. 40 is too young. So please start your investment journey.
Yes, please, go ahead. Quickly, Ma.
First of all, Lord and Lady Fela and Taradute. Good afternoon. All right, so what I want to say to that question is the word buzz. See, we get carried away by buzzes, and that's why we make a lot of mistakes. Based on what we already said earlier on, financial mastery has become very important to have. So it's not just about the buzz. Everybody says you should invest. That's not enough reason for you to invest. We have established that you have to become aware of the need to put the right things in place regarding your finances. We have established the fact that you need to learn how to make, manage, and multiply money. So you move from awareness to getting knowledge, and from knowledge to getting the right skill set and having the right mindset. So don't invest because there is a buzz about investing. Invest because you understand that investment is one of the ways you can sustain the money, the wealth that you are creating. Make it, manage it, multiply it, then learn how. So that buzz, there will always be buzzes. And there will be buzzes about the kind of investments you should do. And that's why we don't know about some things and we dive into them. We come out, fingers burnt, and then we are looking for the next buzz. May our lives not be run by buzzes. Get knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end. Please put your hands together for our panelists, Pastor Bolaho, Mrs. Shola Adeshaki, and Sheyi Abiodun. And also, I want us to just remember that, like the first speaker said, it's And information is not powerful until you add power to it. Thank you very much.
What a powerful session that was. Put your hands together for them one more time. Wow, so much to learn about personal finance. We want to especially thank Mrs. Shola Adeshakin. Thank you so much. That was a ride from your main speech into this panel, but it was really impactful. We bless God for you. God bless you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Lords and ladies.